Hello and welcome to episode number 500,000 of GM Talks. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my own games, show a very instructive, hard-fought battle, and discuss a little bit about what you think about how to approach a comeback in chess when you have had a long break and you are going back to the arena and trying to play chess again, and you can feel you're rusty, you can feel the brain is not working. What do you do? How does it feel? How bad is it? I just played a tournament in Berg and Kvibergspelen, and I didn't have much. I was the highest rated player. There were other GMs, but everybody's losing racing nowadays. So I was the highest rated player, but I didn't consider myself the favorite because I knew that I was very rusty. I have not played a tournament in over a year. I played some team championship matches, but not much, and I'm getting older. I'm not looking at chess, so to be honest, I didn't have a high expectation, but I also knew that if I want to get into chess again, I have to go there. I have to play. I have to. So just playing was a success in itself. So that's the nice thing about it. Also made a promise to myself not to accept any draws. Just play all the chess I can because I don't have much time. So this was the approach. So what happens when you don't play for a long time? Well, the thing is, the circuit that chess runs on, it gets slow. It gets really slow. So the lines that are supposed to come flooding out when you're thinking about chess, they just don't flood. They just like all the way, and that feels bad. So and also. Well, the format of the tournament, I don't like that, because first you arrive Friday in the afternoon, and then you play 4 rapid games, and you have been traveling for like 3.5 hours, and I also had to do a little bit of work as usual and you're tired, and playing chess in the evening is just, I don't like it. I'm always tired at that point. So that was a total disaster. I started with 2.5 out of 4. I got mated against some 22 players. And it was like, okay, that was that tournament. But then after that, you play 4 classical games with 90 minutes plus 30 seconds, and that's double rounds. I don't like double rounds either. So I don't like even chess. I don't like double rounds, and you also play in the morning, and I don't like morning rounds. So I started thinking about myself, what am I doing here? But I knew, and they didn't even pay for the goddamn hotel, even though I'm a grandmaster. But I knew that if I want to play chess again, that this was the chance. And we have some upcoming league matches that are very important. We have a strong team. We have the chance to become Danish champion, and that would be nice. So I knew I had to play if I want to. Otherwise, I should just stop completely. And I'm not ready for that. Also, I have been missing playing. Anyway, this is the game around 7. And it was in the classical game I won in round 5. Some 1900 players fought like hell, and they all do that. And that's usually in the old days when people had like 2200 or below. When you get a better position, they just more or less give up, and you win automatically. Not anymore. They just fight. And I said, like, come on, I'm a better player. You're worse. Give up. Don't just lose. Something, and they just fight. So this is much more sport now than it used to be. Anyway, let's get into this game. In round 6, I drew in 120 moves, and I was winning. But he also hang on there. There was some 2150 player, and I was like, you don't draw with these guys, but okay. And this is round 7, a bit unfortunate pairing for Ritvars Reimanis, a nice guy from Latvia, who's I think he has some problems with the openings, but in general he's a pretty strong IM. So I decided to go d4. I played knight f3 in some games, and knight f3 and go for the Catalan. And that's something like, okay, I'm trying to get to control this beast. I've been losing like the last 3 games against the Catalan with black. So and I've had good results with white. So and it's an easy opening to play for white. It makes, even though people who has got no positional understanding, they can make good positional understanding here in the Catalan. It's so easy to play, and even when something goes wrong, you just sacrifice a pawn and get some compensation. And white's position is just so healthy. It's like a supercharged Grinfeld. So I don't know. It's a good opening. Anyway, he plays this line, and this is something I played myself. This was recommended by Nikos, and I had seen in the database, I prepared a little bit for this, that he played this 2 times and lost both games. So I thought he had bad memories. And also, I'm not sure, I think this kind of position I would like. Sort of a nice, exciting strategic position, a5. That's the idea. If white now managed to win this pawn without any trouble, he's much better. Black will be very cramped, and this bishop will be extremely strong in this diagonal. This bishop will come here, and so on, and e4, and sometime you can even manage to get some sort of an attack going down here, or push in the center and stuff like that. So great position. So but why black is not prepared to give up the pawn, b5 and take, and knight takes, holding on to the pawn for the moment, ready to get rid of this. One idea for white here is knight e5. I think Carson played that. I'm not, but I just prepared to play the same, like one of Reimanis opponents did. Take, check, and rook b5. That's the idea, and bishop b7. And you can say that white has a weak pawn here, and black has 2 weak pawns here. So, but black did manage to get these guys. Oops, that's a little bit. Can you? Whoa. Okay, let's get on with it. Knight e1. Well. This 91. I think there are many options here. 95. Black's problem is this one. How do you get to? Oh, I'm confused now. So I played what his opponent did as well, getting ready to exchange the bishop, and this one will be weak. So black has 2 weak pawns. If he managed to exchange the c pawn, he will be more or less equal, but white might still have a little bit of something. The rook here is active and holding things together, but it's also a little bit clumsy, and it can get into trouble. But anyway, his opponent played this move, and the computer likes this for white. It says it's just a nice little clear advantage. If he takes, you take with the knight, and you're slightly better in that position. You go on with rook d1 and so on, e4 stuff, and the a pawn is dropping at some point, probably. So black is not lost, but it looks better. But he had played this move, and this is not the computer's top choice. And I saw that it recommended e4. That looks very natural. And here I thought he should probably go to b4, but this is the computer's choice. And I remembered actually that the computer recommends queen e2, but in the game I suddenly decided that queen c2 was better. After thinking for like ages, I was using a lot of time. That's another thing that happens when you're rusty. You use a lot of times, like the small nuances. You sit there and you think and you think and you think, and to be honest, afterwards you cannot even tell what you thought about, because it's just one big blur. It's like, well, I thought, and I didn't see anything. This is basically how it goes. Anyway, queen c2. The thing is, this square is the point of a knight d3, and white is if he managed to keep this square under control, keep these pawns here, he will be better for sure. And black needs to be active. Rook Queen A8 might not be the best move. I'm not sure. Maybe you should go knight D7. Just fight really hard for this square. I'm not sure. But anyway, that looked natural. Well, I was all very afraid of things like this during the game, but it does not look like it works. And here he decided that the knight was he had to move from B6. Anyway, I think I noticed. I played a few games in the Catalan, and I noticed that the knight is usually pretty bad on B6 in the Catalan. It's not a good square for the knight, and it looks like even if it's covering a pawn here, it makes the black position very undynamic. So get the knight out of there. Knight D7. Preparing C5, and here the computer really likes B4, and I did look at B4 and I decided, and this is another thing with getting old. I'm 52, is that you start to play passively. You start to say, okay, I don't want to move the pawns right now. I can wait a little bit. I don't have to move it right now. So you don't move it, and then you have to suffer. So after B4, white actually has a clear advantage, holding the position together and getting ready to jump here, taking back with the B pawn, keeping that pawn isolated here. So B4, I saw it and I didn't play it because I was afraid of. The thing is, the trick is he can't take, because you take and you have bishop A3 at the end. But another thing is, I was afraid of this move, but it turns out that after something like this, white is just better. So this was stupid, because all his pawns are weak now, and well. Anyway, I played bishop D2. He played C5, offering a draw. And here's a little note: when you got like 150 rating less and you're black, it's not your job to offer a draw. This is you get this a lot. People offer a draw, and I just don't get it, because I will never take it, like ever, unless I was worse. So it's like it's a little bit like begging, actually. So don't offer draws there. It's really against the spirit of the game, I think. So don't offer draws. It's ridiculous, and it's a little bit lack of respect somehow. Anyway, I didn't play. I played bishop c3. Of course, the positions is more or less equal, but I thought it was interesting. We have a lot of pieces on the board. There are weak pawns here. There are maybe some chances here. There are some maneuvering. This rook can be in trouble. Better put it in another color. And it should be red or something. How do we make it red? Like this? This red, yes. So I thought it was an interesting position. I have spent a lot of time, and that's probably and I was not. I was a bit frustrated with the results so far, because I was already out of the money, even though I won the last two games. The last round was a horror show, but well, anyway, I consider it a success just showing up here, getting into the arena again. Rook c8, queen e2. Not sure that's the best square for it. And e5. I don't like e5. This somehow feels wrong. It takes some. Of course, it opens up for things like this. And here, but it's still another thing in this position is I will try, because you get into time trouble a lot with this time control. You will have a eternal time trouble. So I know that this pawn, I would like to win this pawn, and I know that black often get this pawn at the same time. So I try to keep this covered by a lot of pieces all the time, because I know that's my weakness. So I will try to keep it protected. So I like the bishop here, like the knight here, even though the knight is not very clumsy here. If like I could put the knight here, then I would have great attacking chances, right? But it's not going to happen anytime soon. Rook e8, rook e d1. I don't know if it's a good move. Queen b8, getting covering the bishop and so on, and rook d2, and I keep my and I might the computer does not like this move, and its position probably completely equal, but it does cover this pawn and so on. And knight b6, and I was surprised by this move. This looks weird. As I was thinking knight f8, and it's probably very equal, the position. Knight is wrong on b6. Okay, anyway, I get ready for knight c4. I'm hoping he will go, but he should go back now. He didn't do that, and I decided that, okay, the bishop actually belongs here, and we are fighting over this square. If I can get this square under control, I might be better. So he understood that now, and this move is wrong again. He should go to f8 with the knight, I think, something like this, and will be okay. So I'm and this is something I'm wary about not playing, not weakening, because this does make my king a little open, but I thought I had enough control to justify this, and now this bishop is completely blocked. So I'm hoping to play around it. This bishop could be very strong. It might go here, but it would be nice to have it on this diagonal, threatening down on c4. It could also go on this diagonal, threatening a6. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better here. And he go knight f8, which was looked like the, and this move was, of course, what I was hoping to play. And we see the queen is badly placed on a8, and taking, it looks a little bit weird. And here he played this move, which I thought would lead to a bad ending, and it is a very unpleasant ending for black anyway. So I take here. It's of course a temporary sacrifice, and he takes back, and we are exchanging queen. And let's sum it up here. So white and black both have a weak b pawn. I think mine is a little less weak than his is. He has a bishop that's cannot do anything, but he has a nice knight. But I have the bishop pair, and if I manage to somehow coordinate the bishops in a good way, I will be much better here. I had a good feeling that this might be winning at some point. I'm basically getting ready to play something like this, and go here and win the pawn. So, and if he goes b4 and knight d4, I will take, and I can take, or I don't have to take. I can even play rook a2 because his bishop is weak, but or even taking will give him two weak pawns, and my pawns are not attackable. So rook a4, and that made me very, very sort of happy, because I thought, that rook is going to get into trouble. I just have to play precisely. I didn't have much time, but I felt, this is not the right way. So, okay, king had to go closer to the center, and we are attacking the pawn, and he defends it from the side, and this makes no sense, but I went back, and he could go back again. He didn't do that. And maybe he should go knight d4, I don't know, bishop e2. So I'm preparing slowly to play bishop d1 and win, maybe win this at some point. And this was clearly a mistake. He should probably go with g5 or something immediately. Check, and bishop d1. And now I was very, very hopeful, because see this rook. That's what I call a rook with a view. You get and you just need to attack it, and it can't get out. So it's a little. I was very, very, very hopeful. I'm basically hoping to get my king from here to here and winning the rook, or attack it with the bishop maybe from here. King c7 makes a rook d3, overprotecting here, and I'm just going boop, boop, and boom, right? So this was, and he started to, and here I played this move. I was a little bit afraid of him getting into to something like this. Wait a minute. By the way, I think the computer got an idea here, is to play this move. Was this move? Yeah. And we'll have a rook, because it basically threatens to go all the way here fast, the fast lane. And knight d4, you just take, and the rook will not get out. So this is the computer is not completely convinced, but it's totally winning this kind of position. Anyway, well, I was afraid that he would be able to play d5 and go on, and then this will be weak. So I'm preparing to block it with if you go d4, I'll just go d4. And I did d4 anyway, preventing f5, take, and f6, and we are ready for the big maneuver here. And he was starting to use a lot of time here. Before this, he played very fast, but now he was starting to spend time as well. And I was down to not much time. Bishop c6, protecting, and here the fear is coming, because king is coming to c3, right? And panic. And here, and I didn't have much time, and he didn't have much time, and so what to do here? Well, there's only one good move if you want to win. f6. I felt okay. I might be young again here, because this move is an f7, and I will get a new queen. So so he has to step hard on this and f7, and I'm basically threatening to go bishop h6 and f7, so, or bishop c5, because the knight can't move. And he played bishop d, rook h4, and here I have a very strong move. I didn't see it. It wins a piece, actually, so that was a little bit stupid. I could play b4 here. This move would have been really strong, because he goes here and I go here and I win a piece. So b4 would have been strong. I played this move. I'd seen some, but this throws away a lot of the advantage. It looks very flashy. Of course, he can't take because of f7. After this, the plan was this move, and then after this move, here I had planned rook d6, but it throws away all the advantage, because after this, yes, this move, and well, it is. I'm still a pawn up, but well, it's not winning. I think this he will be able to draw. So I didn't see this. So that was so instead I had to just win a pawn, and it's very drawish, but you can lose this. And if white managed to get the bishop going, it gives decent chances. So and it's close to equal. Black is very active, but if I get the bishops out, I'll be happy. Here I should probably play b4. I still had the idea that I could just activate the king and say, okay, it's your move now, what you gonna do? I'm threatening a check maybe, and he went there, and I thought, and we were down to just playing fast here. I might be threatening to go here, I might be threatening something like this, and he went here. And I have to go f4, which was not the plan, but okay, this might be threatening. Oh no, it's not. You have to look at these checks all the time. Rook f7, rook d3, so no rook e5. I was looking at rook e5, but then I would have lost. So that would have been horrible. That would have been very typical. And king c3, bishop e4, and he just keeps playing actively. And rook d6 is maybe not the best move. I'm not sure. King c5, rook a6, and that's maybe not the best either, but it's very difficult to play correctly here. And check, and knight d4, very active. Maybe bishop f2 would actually have been strong here. This might, I don't think he can take, because of bishop e3, and the pin is really awkward after rook. Yeah, or rook back and so on. Anyway, this is kind of you're very afraid of losing the pawn, so I gave a check, and he went here, check, and here, and trying to get the pieces out, but this check was a little bit unpleasant. And now he's also keeping and getting here, and rook g5 and there, but here bishop g4 is probably the right move. I still had some hope of winning this, and anyway, there's nothing to lose. You just keep playing. And I played a typical move that makes no sense. I think he's completely equal after this move, but it looks nice to have it here covering this one, taking away squares with the king and so on, but it's nothing. But this was probably a mistake, and this was also probably a mistake. And here, and I didn't know where to go. I was just like, oh no, and here, what? I can't cover this pawn. And then I realized that, okay, maybe it's not so bad. Bishop e2, setting some traps. I felt that if I was managing to give a check here and here and so on, his king would be in trouble and something might drop. And here he should just play, I think, bishop f3 or rook h1 or something, and it's probably a draw. He took here, this loses. Now it's gone. Check, and I win. This was a bit lucky, admittedly. He went here and check again. And the problem for him is that this move loses to this move, and that this move runs into this move. And he was also down on time here and panicked completely and didn't see what happened after this move. And you can probably see what white does here. He gives a check. So. And it's checkmate. So a lot of mistakes, a lot of but also a lot of thinking, a lot of, and this is the kind of games that will eventually lead to getting into better shape. If you play like this a lot of games, you will at some point start to feel the rust disappear and be able to play on a decent level. It's and I didn't even actually because of the real disaster happened in rapid chess, so I didn't even lose rating. I actually won 1 rating point, so the bleeding of the elo stopped. Still, it's a long way to go before I'm back at the level I once had, and I probably will never get there because I don't have time to work enough on chess. You need to do a lot of work on chess to stay at a level. Also, the players you are competing against are all professionals, and they're also dropping rating. You can see that it's really hard for most players to maintain a high level nowadays. Anyways, this was GM Talks with the comeback of a rusty man. I hope you enjoyed this very, very extensive analysis of this game, and hope to see you soon. And remember to like and subscribe. This was GM Talks.